Greetings, friends, and brightest blessings. Excuse me. Chloe Valentine here, and today we're going to talk about words and how they affect our reality. Right? So, last night, I watched a video on the power of words, and it's a silly video. It's a good video. It's a very informative video, but I don't know what I did to make YouTube give me all of this fear-mongering stuff in my suggested, thing. But I love fear-mongering videos. They're hilarious to me. That, like, the government wants you to speak words that make you their slaves forever and all this good stuff, right? And that's fun. That's an interesting idea. And so I listened to that last night as I was laying down for bed. And then this morning as I got up and was doing my makeup, I listened to another video about Shintoism because it heavily influences my practice. I love Shinto so much. I love Shinto. We'll talk about it another day. But as I get up and I'm doing my makeup, which I'm going to start trying to do again every day because I kind of fell into a little bit of a rut, a little bit of a depression, and I've got major depressive disorder, and I'm unmedicated, right? Because I understand my disorder, right? And so understanding my disorder knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power, and if you understand a problem, then you have already solved it. And so me understanding that I will go through these phases where I am just not me so much, it's something I understand and I sort of organize my life around, right? And so I know that every once in a while I might go through 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, where I am just not feeling like me. And then I'll catch that, oh, this is my depression. This isn't my reality. This is my depression. And from there, things just kind of get better for me, because I understand that, oh, these feelings aren't really valid so much. But as I'm doing my makeup, I'm listening to a video on Shinto. And I had forgotten that Shinto has a concept called Kotodama. And Kotodama is words of power, magic words. And this is not a uniquely Shinto concept by any means, obviously. If you've done any research on the occult, you understand that words have power. The words you use and the words that you choose to use in your daily life have power. Not just power over your magical spells, but power over your psychology, your psychological well-being, and your emotions. And your words have power over your life, and they can have power over the lives of other people. If you tell your child, "I hate you," then you have severely affected that child's reality. And that's just, there's no real argument against that. You have affected that child's reality. You've affected their self-perception. You've affected their ideas on parenting and love and appreciation, and you've affected them severely if you constantly tell them you hate them. Now, Masaru Emoto is a Japanese scientist, and years and years and years ago, he did an experiment where he would tape words on little cups of water, right? And then he'd have people say words to water, and he'd have people just think words at water, and then he would freeze the water, and he would examine the crystalline structure of the water molecules under a microscope. And it was, in 100% of cases, negative words formed distortions and horrible, scary looking disorganization in the crystalline structure of water, whereas words like love, harmony, happiness, gratitude, and those concepts being spoken to and projected to even mentally from a person will form like almost what looks like sacred geometry in the water's crystal structure. And so the fact that we're 70% water, and this is something that happens when you speak to water, it tells you that like the words you use affect like everything. They affect your physical makeup. In fact, they affect the way that your water in your body behaves, right? So prior to this, I did a little bit of a silly, like just a personal like research project on the etymology of abracadabra, because I saw the word somewhere and it was in that little like ABBA, like ABBR rather, and like so it was in that little pyramid thing, and at the bottom is abracadabra, and it's like words of power and this and that, right? And so I did a little research and found out that abracadabra actually probably comes from the Aramaic word or phrase abracadabra, which literally means I create what I speak. Now, at the end of most, I'm not sure in other traditions, but I know that in Wiccan, you end almost every spell with "so mote it be," which means like that's what it is. This is reality now. So it is real, almost. And so, and in Valentinian sorcery, we don't really have like a set sort of phrase work. We don't have a words that we specifically use, because in Valentinian sorcery, like, you can do it in any language. And so like I wouldn't say "so mote it be," but I might actually say abracadabra, or avaracadabra, or I might go with the English of "I create what I speak," right? Now I'm going to tie this in because sigil magic, which isn't something I do a lot of. I've done it a couple times, and then I've done one today. I did when I woke up and I heard this concept of Kotodama in this video, these words of power. I thought, well, let's see, because I have some things like lined up online. Not lined up, but I have some fishing line in the digital water right now, and I'm hoping that something comes of it, right? And so I did a sigil this morning, and I'm hoping and believing, and I'm fairly confident in the fact that it might not work. I might not go to the gas station and then have my whatever I asked for right then and there, but like, I'm sure that it will, if not guarantee success, it will vastly increase my chances of success in this regard, right? Because I have spoken it, I have written it, which is spelling it. I have created a magical symbol for it based on the spoken word and the spelling. And then I have done a ritual to put that energy towards my goal, right? Now, some people will tell you that you have this tool for this and that tool for that, and this is for this and that's for that, and it's because in their system that is what works for them, right? But you will also hear the opposite side of that. You don't need anything but your mind, right? And that is also true, because all of the ritual accoutrements are simply enhancements for your own will. They are focal points for your will. And what is the biggest focal point of your will is the words you speak on a daily basis. So what do I mean by that? I mean that people, this is a fact that is like independent of me. I just learned it through like a research thing, right? The people who speak of poverty and need and want are usually the people who suffer from those things. And the people who speak of abundance, gratitude, wealth, they are the people who usually experience those phenomena, right? And this is an independent study. This has nothing to do with anything I've done. This was like some other thing, right? I just happened to stumble across the information. And so Chloe Valentine, founder and high priestess of the Valentinian tradition of sorcery, I create what I speak, right? And so if I am constantly talking about, I want this, I need this, oh man, I don't have something, blanky blank, whatever, right? Then that sets that in my mind, it sets it in my subconscious as a consistent and current state of being. So instead, when I switch from thinking I want, I need, I don't have, to I'm grateful for, I appreciate, and I have what I need and almost everything I want, then like the blessings flow freely. They flow freely because my subjective reality, in my subjective reality, I am bringing about those things. I am bringing those things into existence by stating them as though they are currently true. Right? This tells my subconscious that they are currently true. Right? And so my will manifest these things into reality. And this is not like a Chloe Valentine superpower. I don't just like have this and no one else can do this. You can do this. Anyone can do this. And this has nothing to do with spiritual entities. This has nothing to do with like the power of manifestation or the laws of attraction. This is simply a psychological and magical, which the two things are not mutually exclusive by any means. This is a reality, and it is creating your reality. This is abracadabra in action. This is I create what I speak in action. If you believe and you say, then you will do. Right? And so with that, guys, we are at 14 minutes almost. I am going to pop over to the gas station, upload this video, check on my stuff online. I'm going to go eat at Jack in the Box because I've been craving a munchie meal. And then I am probably going to come back to camp, film another video on the results of my spell, which I know y'all are like, you did it this morning. How are you expecting results? Like, when I say that most of the time, if not all of the time, things work within hours, if not minutes, if not seconds sometimes. And so with that, guys, I love you all. Thank you for watching. Please, please, please hit like and subscribe. I have one comment. I have one like. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day. I know I am. And with that, brightest blessings.